What's up, y'all? It's your boy Zach here for another episode of The Breakdown. And today's film that we have is Frankenstein, the 2025 version, directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Oscar Isaac, Christoph Waltz, Felix Kammerer, and David Bradley. Obviously, this is the story of Frankenstein. Most people know it. A man by the name of Dr. Victor Frankenstein. He wants to assemble different body parts from deceased men and put together one man through the power of science and, electrocution through like the weather. And I know I'm not explaining it right, but you all know what I mean. And bringing to life, a man-made man, not a God-made man, but a man-made man. And it had a great story. It told the story of, Frankenstein growing up and how he had a very close relationship to his mother and losing her at an early age. And also, how he was just always very upset. And, his father being, this very strict doctor, and he later dying when he was a child. And it was just really well put together. And, it showed how he was just on this mission. He ended up meeting this rich guy played by Christoph Waltz, who would basically supply him with the equipment and the laboratory in order for him to perform the experiment of bringing his creature to life. So he ended up, getting everything together. And in the process, he meets, his brother comes back into his life, his baby brother, and also, too, his brother's fiance, played by Felix Kammerer and Mia Goth. And Mia Goth's character, Elizabeth, she has a real deep love for the simple things in life, like, butterflies and leaves and plants and things like that. And then once he brings the creature to life, well, actually, her uncle is like the rich guy that is supplying Dr. Frankenstein with all of the equipment. And then, he is dying of syphilis, and he wants to be the one that he experiments on. He wants to put himself inside the creature's body in order to be brought back to life, or be in a different life form, whatever he's hoping. And he's like, no, your blood is contaminated. And then he ends up, they end up fighting over a piece of the equipment, and he ends up falling to his death and dying. And then he blames it on the monster, on the creature. And then he brings the creature to life, and this is played by Jacob Elordi in makeup and costume as Frankenstein. And he does an amazing job as Frankenstein. There's probably a little bit of CGI, maybe AI and stuff involved, but